be getting that too much more.
Yeah, I don't think Lulu will get through very often. See, some teams
or as they said, ban the Kog,
decide to ban out the Kog'Maw.
Right.
And that's the thing. People are like, oh, Kog'Maw's not that big a deal, just ban out the Lulu and things that work with him. There are so many things that you can use to protect a Kog'Maw. Janna, Braum, Morgana, like there are so many things. And if you just get a front line that has CC, all you need are some stuns and any actual support,
yep.
And it can work. So I do favor the throwing a ban at Kog'Maw rather than trying to target the other things, but that does mean Lulu's up, and regardless, Lulu plus something like Lucian is still very formidable as well.
Right. This also, I hope, opens up a window for Kirei, where we see that Elise being such a good pick for him. Maybe that Gragas was somewhere in his champion pool along the way, and maybe that's what he picks up, because he's already against the aggression of Moon's early Nidalee. But they go for the Lulu, the Kalista. Still two good picks for Dignitas.
All right, definitely a strong second round here. People have been pretty iffy on the early Nidalee picks, but there has been a lot of success, especially recently in the last couple of weeks, with top-tier junglers grabbing Nidalee. Now, Moon has not had a lot of success in the North American LCS, though, and this is one of the guys that NRG are looking at to have a more standout performance, step up to the plate, hit one of the new guys on the team, not only improve on the communication with the rest of the team, but also the early playmaking. Now, mousing over Evelynn, I think that's just going to be a switch. Technically, you could have a lane Nidalee, as it's been maybe 2-3 years since we've seen one, but technically, I guess you could do it.
It's been a while. We will see. Also, you were saying Moon's play recently with the team or with the whole team in that communication, where Nidalee, you can stay on the outside, throw the spears in, you're not questioning whether you have to dive in with the team. Kind of more of a clear role for him there, so maybe that will ease things in that sense.
One of the things that I am a little bit worried about is that Nidalee, a huge part of her power is taking over the early game and going to transfer that into jungle invades and looking to kill the other jungler, and that does require a lot of support, managing with your lanes when they shove up so you can invade and stuff like that. But you're right, Nidalee has a lot of, hops. She can get out of jail free quite often, very mobile, so let's see.
Staying alive comp we got over here from Dignitas, the Wild Growth, the Tempered Fate, and now Lamb's Respite. That's a lot of ways to stay alive. Yeah,
I mean, last time that we saw Kirei on Kindred, I think is all the way back to the game where they played NRG and he got blown up by GBM on the Victor without having the timing to pop his ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
And the game where GBM stole Baron twice versus them. But it looks like he wants some redemption here. This is a good chance for Kirei to prove his Kindred, because I know a lot of people in solo queue really fear when Kirei does get, these early invade junglers and these offensive junglers like Kindred as well as Elise.
And maybe that's the kind of play he needs to put forward. Just don't temper yourself at all. Take away all the measures.
You gotta be very quick with the ultimate, though. I said don't be safe with it, especially since GBM has already handed your
all right, Karma and
to you,
Poppy.
We'll say.
This looks like it's going to now be a Karma mid.
GBM, all right. I would definitely hang my hat on the Karma mid right now, just because it is GBM. I think they put Nidalee in the jungle and Poppy top. But you're very correct here to leave the door open, as many of those are flexible picks. But that would just be my guess.
That's exactly what chat was talking about. Just the composition where you don't have any idea. Up to 20 seconds. Once the final pick on Dignitas comes, and we will know. But what does Dig round out with here? This is kind of like, what do you feel okay playing against top when you don't know what it is, BillyBoss?
Well, like I said, I think they will kind of assume that it is the Poppy top. And Trundle is something that he's already taken into that matchup, and a lot of people really do like the Trundle into Poppy matchup, just because Poppy does have so many base stats that you can steal away with Trundle. And it is good, sort of, it is one of the very few good lane matchups versus Poppy. I'm still kind of questioning the overall comp here from Dig. They have a lot of tools. It's just that they're going to need that coordination to pull this off, because as we've seen, a couple, even milliseconds misstep here with something like Kindred, Lulu, and as well the Kalista can mean that your team fight crumbles around you. But if they do have the timing with this, it's a very, very solid team comp here for Team Dignitas as far as the team fighting goes. GBM, though, throwing another curveball here to the North American LCS, bringing back the Karma mid, which Bjergsen put on display last year and got a pentakill with.
Pentakill, right. I remember, Trevor was here casting that. He took it away. But anyway, don't keep your predictions a secret. We don't. Put them on Twitter for all the world to see. Send your picks to @LOL eSports. Either the hashtag NRG win or the hashtag DIG win. We will calculate your votes and put them on the beautiful big screen as we get on to the Rift and into the game. We are 6 weeks in now. Very close to the end of the spring split, and teams need all the wins they can get right now. We're NRG versus Dignitas, and we're on the Rift.
I like this second half where we start to get the rematches and people look for revenge. Because last time around, Team Dignitas and Kirei definitely had some unfortunate events in the game, which caused them to lose control. See if they can hold on this time around. Like I said, I mean, Lulu plus Kalista and Kindred means there are many options for Shiphtur once they transition into teamfight phase, as far as, you know, who to save, who to buff up. And it is going to need that communication, because sometimes you'll see a Lulu ultimate pop down on this exact same time that a Kindred ultimate goes down on somebody, and then they burn through the extra health anyway, even though nobody can be killed. But we'll see if they can pull it off.
It's always super hard. Or personal preference, I'll always say for the person to use it first, and then I'll use my safety. But like you're saying, when you have more than 2 or 3, and there's so many to pile on, it becomes messy.
And I definitely think it's better for everyone to use their life-saving abilities than for nobody to use them. I'd be like, I thought you had me, bro, right? No, you, no, me? Okay.
That one? Okay.
Yeah. Because at least then you save your life for a short period of time rather than someone just dying.
We've actually seen that. I think it was Garen and Bjergsen and Zillion Kindred.
We are at the moment getting the blind lane swap here from Team Dignitas.
And it looks good.
Up to the top side. They did walk all the way around that Tribush ward too, so they are going to get this invade off with the 3-man invade. Wonder if Kiwi will be in front so that he can try and land a stun. They are going to see him now.
Interesting. Getting aggressive a little early. Won't hurt Moon too much. Moon's by himself. Impact's going to try to soak up some CS top lane here. But he won't have long to do it as KiWiKid's going to back up to help him. Pushed in is Shiphtur, so he can't get anywhere. You see GBM using as many spells as he can, but that lane won't be going too far either way once Shiphtur can clear it out with glitter lands. Slow early start with the lane swap. We'll see how the junglers take to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the mid lane, which is going to be the lane with the most trading usually. Ooh, BillyBoss going to get a level 1 versus 2 on Moon here, even though he has the health advantage, the extra level, plus the fact that it's Nidalee. Means that you're going to have to run away because Nidalee has support here. KonKwon coming in. But yeah, the mid lane is just going to be 2 support champions, technically. And a lot of shields and farming. Don't think there will be any kills anytime soon coming from that mid lane, unless we have some 4 or 5-man conversions. As of right now, though, the lane swap, once NRG were alerted, I have just defaulted into the standard push here, and they'll catch right back up. Moon's going to catch up in the jungle. It looks like doing just fine.
Look at that smorgasbord of keys.
Ah, yeah.
So nice.
Diversity. The rainbow of keystones.
So fantastic.
All right. Scuttle Crab on the bottom side for Kirei is the only thing a little bit unfortunate for him, but can't control that. And Moon's going to be happy to take that one away. Pretty much everything has evened out. Everybody going with the safe side jungling. And standard clear, so solo gold being given to both top laners. And both of them setting up the freeze. BillyBoss actually, no, yeah, he's just pruning.
Making sure it stays.
Sit with it.
Well, now opens things up. Wards are down, have to be pushed forward a little bit more so everybody on the side lanes can stay safe here. And you can already see that happening on the top side of the jungle as Dignitas has gotten those early wards in. Top side now for Altec and KonKwon to start pushing that wave out. I think this is going to be a real slow one, Kobe.
Yeah, we are at least entering kind of an exciting period for me is when the supports get their first big roam on. After you recall from the tower pushes, you have a brief moment where there's a lot of fog of war on the map, and the supports get to go influence. But both supports actually just walked over wards. Kiwi walked over the Scuttle Crab, and KonKwon walked over a deep lane ward. So all that mystery is gone, and both teams will play safely. Both top laners backing off. The only real wrinkle here is actually that Kirei is going for a deep invade, and he might tag Impact.
He's been out. He could use something. He's been out of lane, falling behind a little bit in CS here as he's going back and forth and hasn't really gotten anything to farm, and now might have to spend a little bit more time off the map. It looks like he may be able to soak something up in the jungle, but could definitely use a few waves as top turret being pressured hard now by NRG.
Yeah.
Seeing that pressure bottom.
A fairly significant chunk, but you know, nothing significant will come of it, even though it was a large portion of health.
He's doing a lot of walking, that's for sure. Towards the top side now, but on Poppy this game, we questioned champions he was being put on for the factor of being the carry for the team. Now possibly with that Poppy, if you can get going on it, can be that strength the teams needs once they get into the fight with KonKwon.
It's actually, yeah, it is kind of deceptive how people consider Karma extremely low damage as far as mid laners go. She actually has quite a lot of burst for the early and mid game. It's only kind of very late that she does really fall off. And the utility that she brings is similar to Lulu, except that she can buff up the whole team with her giant shield speed. See if that does matter, because everyone will kind of charge in behind Impact on the Poppy. They've got him sort of to lead it. Standard turret trades after the lane swap, and both AD carry support duos once again swapping back here. We also have, again, one of those brief periods where the supports get that small window to roam around through the fog of war, mostly on warding missions. KonKwon, mission success, gets to take down a pink.
Pings towards the top side by KiWiKid here as he grabs up some chimes. Looks like he's going to go too far for it.
Yeah. So you can see both of the teams are opting to play safe. Right here, you can try and make a call to utilize Bard's extreme mobility and try and, you know, maybe set up a risky play where you go for a magical journey and bring the jungler along with you. But that would cost Kirei a lot of time and experience that he is right now just farming camps, which is guaranteed money, guaranteed experience. Whereas going for sort of a risky play and relying on Bard's mobility and the timing to try and snag a first blood is definitely a lot lower chance of succeeding.
Just living in each other's jungles from this lane swap on as it should be.
So go for the big steal here. Nope.
Got me all excited.
I mean, he doesn't have smite, but GBM doesn't know that. So
over.
If GBM knew he didn't have smite, probably would have stuck around and waited for a better angle there. But
so here's a 6 for Kirei. This is big. His ultimate's now up. They could decide to do something to Impact under the turret at level 4, so he has no way to really clear himself out. Already starting to pinch him in, and it looks like even turret trades once again with pressure on both sides of the map. These teams are pretty much in a gentleman's agreement right now.
It's interesting because NRG are making the call. They try to use the Ezreal ultimate to take down the minion wave and stall out Team Dignitas. They were already a little bit ahead, and the extra damage from True Shot Barrage on the minion wave did help delay that turret take. NRG definitely far ahead here.
Of course they are. You have speed up from Moon on his heal, and Altec can also use Essence Flux to speed everybody up as well.
Yeah, both Moon.
For the attack,
yeah,
rather.
Exactly. They can both speed each other up.
Makes those turrets fall just a little bit faster, even if they don't have tons of damage. And now you can see a pink, or rather regular ward placed in there to keep eyes on GBM as Shiphtur went to back in his lane.
Yeah, I don't think the True Shot Barrage had... I'm going to rewind and see if that was the determining factor. I don't think it was. I think that NRG already had the lead in turret damage without it. But yeah, definitely did help, and you do see a little bit of Ezreal's global impact.
A few pings around the map. Looks like it's safety and assistance pings for NRG, so they're looking to clear these waves, set something up for themselves. I'm sure that Kirei would love to start getting a few of these marks on the other side of the map for him.
All right. Pink ward clearing going on around Dragon. Little bit of deep vision here for Team Dignitas as they try to set up and reclaim some territory on this bottom side of the map. Meanwhile, pretty even as far as the farm distribution as well.
Yeah.
Really the only significant difference, I guess, is the 10 CS lead here for GBM in the mid lane. And they've actually, he's just recalled and moved out. Altec coming in to take some of it. So that discrepancy is actually getting even smaller. All right, here's a teleport play.
Oh, hello. Impact. Steadfast presence goes on. Apollo looks like he's going to make a good bit of distance before anything happens. BillyBoss throws it down just for a bit of deterrent. I don't think he needed to do so, but he stays at the top.
So at first, it's a teleport traded for a flash, which is eh, but they did get a big chunk on Apollo, which really significantly reduces the map pressure that Team Dignitas have. And then the extra teleport being triggered there for Team Dignitas means it's 100% win for NRG holistically there for them as they come out ahead on cooldowns as well as picking up the Dragon. And pretty quick transition into a mid lane tower push here. This is going to go down.
BillyBoss also has what would have been a bunch of waves that he could have TP'd back to. Now he's going to be forced to have that sit right in front of the turret and miss a few. Coming down to protect mid, but this poke right now that NRG's able to formulate in front of the turret is not good for Dignitas.
Yeah, pretty standard setup here for them. They also have the heals from Alistar to supply their siege. And the front line, Impact and KonKwon don't actually have to do much. Just wait for the other three members of the team to throw out the poke under turret, slowly whittle it down. Front line just wait around defensively.
I think KonKwon being 5 is keeping them safe here. They would be way under the turret real quick. No level 6 on the Alistar is keeping them safe, keeping them smart about this, and they're getting as much damage as they can without going too hard.
Oh, big chunks onto Apollo. And that takes the heart of Team Dignitas' team fighting out of the mix, taking away pretty much all of the threat here. And NRG are doing a very good job playing to their poke comp, getting that early lead that you look for with the early power gold. So 2 extra turrets, not only because they won that side lane basically DPS check as everybody committed to the tower pushing on the opposite sides, but then they also find a very accurate poke in the mid lane, and they're really going to make a push on this mid-game spike here for the team. Because as we said, that's where Karma is biggest. He's got the Rod of Ages stacking up as well right now. Early, just kidding. Rift Herald, there's not going to be too much significant interruption here as NRG are a little bit slow up there. So small prize, I guess, consolation prize here for Team Dignitas.
Nice, Kirei is going to be able to farm up nice with that. Oh! He's good. He's just joking. He knew what he could do. Seeing items here, we'll have 2 Frost Queens actually coming. Shiphtur and KiWiKid are going to have those to help or disengage their fights. So they have an ability to get themselves out of situations we just saw at the turret.
Yeah.
Very, very painful for them.
They're going to try and use them to engage and get into the team fight because they want Kalista and Kindred to get in there, you know, with the Lulu, buffing them up and sort of dancing around in the team fight around these pillars that Trundle's going to put up. But the front line here for NRG, as I said, it's very difficult. Basically, Alistar was the old League of Legends bouncer, #1 at his job, keeping people from engaging, headbutting them away and pulverizing. And Poppy's the new queen of LCS bouncers, as it's very hard to engage on Poppy's AD carry if she's trying to peel for them as well. Tackles people.
The leap from Moon. They hoping KonKwon could also connect. Now they're in Kirei. And I don't think the ultimate's going to come down just yet. The TP now from BillyBoss with back up. He does not get pushed out by Impact, so that sticks. Impact, however, now gets top turret alone. If NRG can disengage this.
Plus, he's got his teleport coming up soon, so Impact, not only can he take this top turret, or at least deal a lot of damage to it, but if Dignitas stand around and they try and force something, he can teleport in behind them very soon. NRG are just going to take that top turret, plus pressure on bottom. Again, this play starts with Apollo getting chunked out.
Yep.
No Kalista means Dignitas really don't have any options.
And
they have to hard engage.
Yeah,
try
more
and
than
stop
2
this
times. This is exactly what happened for the Dragon previously when they were top turret, when they blew BillyBoss's teleport. This time he takes it, and they play the flip side and stay top. Really working out, and we have no kills here. Completely playing around Dignitas in this matchup.
In fact, looking for the dive. He's going to find it.
Oh, Kirei, he will have the ultimate. Is there too much crowd control for him? Invulnerable in that, knocked up but not out, and he's saved by the wild growth. But that's a lot of ultimates to save. BillyBoss wants to go in, seeing the health bars right now of energy. Getting locked down. Nobody was there with him. He's forced to flash. Fate's call comes back in, and that's going to be Impact. The first kill of the game, 15 minutes in, as Dignitas protects the middle turret.
The classic minion block bait here from BillyBoss. Waits around, soaking damage, getting solo. Oh, I'm getting minion blocked, and flashes out. Able to dodge the spear as well, but that was very close. And Team Dignitas, they finally got, you know, one of those fights where NRG actually stayed in the fight, and they got to build up and deal their damage over time with these double marksmen. Man, it was very risky here.
Let's touch and go.
Talk about the timing, though. This is something we highlighted. And Team Dignitas had the timing down great there. Kirei immediately popping the ultimate, and then they've got the Lulu ult on the backside for him to get out. But yeah, gets locked up. He's so lucky that didn't hit the wall stun. That was so close to being a wall stun and a kill. First blood over to NRG. But all calculated, all planned there from BillyBoss with the bait.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Not in wall stuns.
Not heroic charges.
Not heroic charges. 20 seconds on to Dragon. It looks like something that NRG definitely wants to get their hands on as they all swarm towards the bottom side of the map. This will be to clear and set up some vision. That one kill going over to Apollo, so pretty good for them, getting some finished items into Blade of the Rune King, but not a surge of money really for anybody yet. There's still those turrets to drop for Dignitas, so if they can go for Dragons, get a good fight in those turrets, they will surge ahead.
All right, looks like they might contest this. There's a teleport for Impact, remember.
Easier said than done, but there's the Dragon. Fate's call on to GBM. This could be a big lockdown, but Karma has a lot of utility. He's going to have a shield after the polymorph. No, the follow-through comes in. The kill from Shiphtur, and this is it. Dig gets the Dragon. Now they get the fight. Unbreakable Will goes down, but KonKwon, yes, he will make it out. And what is Dig's move?
See, look at this. NRG don't panic. They just got caught by Team Dignitas, but they realize this is a team with superior positioning already and a good team fight setup, so we don't want to take it. Even though GBM got caught, they don't want to channel the teleport. They don't want to sacrifice more for him. Altec, though, trying to farm at the turret, and they will channel the teleport to protect him.
That TP that he did not have to use in the previous play comes up big now. They try to get the Cosmic Binding onto Moon, and everything that they need to get out happens. But that was still, like you said, huge from NRG to get something out of that play. Losing that Dragon to Dig wasn't that big.
Right, so they lost the Dragon and the one kill for the pick onto GBM, who also had to flash, but they didn't lose anyone else by channeling teleport and getting wiped, plus they were able to get a top turret. So. Not the worst scenario, but definitely a good move there from Team Dignitas. They were able to get that first Dragon for themselves, as well as snag some extra gold here to try and even out the coffers.
Dignitas picking up kills here and there, but what do they get to push after? Still have to keep their eye on the whole map, the bigger picture here, because that's where NRG has been really getting a thorn in their side. Just about a 2K gold lead for NRG right now, still without managing any kills. Still have more map pressure. Really working a different kind of game.
Yeah. Taking a little bit of a pause here, NRG. You know, after the last couple of kills have gone over to Team Dignitas, they're trying to reset, take stock of the game. Because remember, this is a very, very important match for NRG as well. They're trying to differentiate themselves from the middle of the pack teams in the LCS. There was a lot of hype coming in with this lineup, and they have had trouble putting it together. As of right now, though, they are going to put it together, group up, and go mid lane here. Plenty of vision up on the top side of the map, and they're going to try and use this to hover top side, pressure this mid turret. As Team Dignitas look very spread out, they might have too slow of a time reacting to this. They're trying to rotate over, though.
Oh, Impact. He's on Mission Impossible right now. They somewhat know he's there since they don't see him, but they may not know exactly where he's coming from. They know he wants to engage. KonKwon gets the Fate's call out. Impact isn't in too bad of a spot. Steadfast Presence getting a little bit of assistance there, as well as KiWiKid's auto range he was pushed back to. So really nothing coming of the first ultimates.
That's one of those big, big ultimates that Team Dignitas do rely on. The Kalista ultimate for the Bard. And now they're just going to have to take a bunch of poke. NRG will continue the siege on mid lane and chip down this turret.
Depending how big this gets, Baron is now an option in 10 seconds. BillyBoss throws down the subjugate on Impact. He gets the resistances. Kirei cannot flank hard enough from the side. There's just no crowd control to keep NRG where they want them.
Yeah, remember, 2 big cooldowns for NRG come from the front line. KonKwon on the Alistar and Impact on Poppy. Poppy still has ultimate ready for a disengage, so really this turret's gonna go down one way or another.
Yeah,
you know, he can even use it to zone Dignitas off. They can just bop him back to base and take the turret, but they don't have to use the cooldown.
Ooh. They're all starting about half HP throughout this fight. Kirei now in a 5v1. Spooky Ghosts come out. You're gonna get a bit of a slow, no deaths on either side. These guys are just punching back and forth and nobody's falling.
Yeah, another turret NRG are able to grind out here, and they hold on to their defensive cooldowns so that there really is no threat from Team Dignitas. They don't have a Kalista ultimate, and with Poppies being up, you can't really engage into that squad. So Team Dignitas lose out on another turret, and the gold lead does grow to 3,000 for NRG.
The battles always seem to tie Kobe, but the war is being won by NRG. Ever so slowly.
War of attrition here. They've got all the outer turrets down, though. That's sort of the easy mode. Now the hard part of actually trying to crack in the inhibitor line, or make the decision to try and bait Baron. And they do have plenty of pink wards set up around the Baron already. So NRG, you know, whenever you do have a poke squad like this, your baits kind of turn into just hoping that your poke can all land on someone who comes too close. And chunk them out that way so that you can send someone on the enemy team back, and you just kind of earn yourself a numbers advantage. The pick would be kind of hard to get unless there's a crazy flash from Impact or KonKwon, but more it's about NRG sort of controlling both sides of the jungle, baiting Dignitas in to poke them out. Oh, Kirei get caught!
KiWiKid just blew flash there to get out. Kirei throwing down their spite. He saves himself, but should be going back. Waits for the heal to make sure it doesn't happen quicker than he wants.
Poke earns him a huge cooldown for NRG, though.
Still waiting for him, Kirei, to get back. We did see KiWiKid, or not see, but that journey was KiWiKid blowing his flash to get out of that gauge from KonKwon. So things being blown. Oh my, Mantra Q coming from GBM, absolutely destroying 3 members of Dignitas. It had to be over 1,000 damage overall, and they are still not afraid to fight. Dig wants to bite back after they take a little bit of damage, but is it the right time? Moon takes a bit. KonKwon's out of the fight with his ultimate on and now off. And it looks like Dignitas may be losing this one ever so slowly. History is repeating itself here in this game, and NRG is not leaving yet.
Yeah, Shiphtur said in that video before the game, GBM's not really one to pull off these flashy plays, but a significant play is that giant Mantra Q that he just threw onto 3 members and chunked all of Team Dignitas. Okay, so let's take another look at how he killed KiWiKid first, though. Got the W. It actually didn't even proc. I guess he just lands the flash Q. Yep. So he found the solo kill. That right there was a flashy play, Riv. He flashed, right? Technically.
That was flashy.
He's got their only kill. But really, the poke squad that NRG have formed here isn't about the kills. It's about grinding out those turrets, and they did get some significant damage on the mid lane inhibitor turret as well. They might have to seed this outer mid lane turret, but that is one that would probably go down fairly easily anyway. Team Dignitas definitely happy to get some global gold back for themselves, though.
Really, a tiny morsel compared to NRG's feast so far. 3K in the lead? I don't know why I said 6. I was looking at their number. 3,000 gold in the lead right now. NRG working a very calm, cool, and collected game.
Yeah, I mean, Team Dignitas have been sort of backpedaling this entire game due to the accuracy that NRG have had in all of their poke landing onto very high priority targets. Constantly chunking out Apollo. And now they're at the point where they can chunk out even frontline here for NRG, and they don't even really care which target they hit.
Right. The BillyBoss went Titanic first, so he's actually not as tanky as he would love to be. Still taking some big damage.
Ooh.
Good baits. They got the targets they want. Moon, they're all right in the middle here, so they could take a lot of poke damage if they don't get the kills they want right away. They are funneled into a damage zone, and Shiphtur is taking the next one. The true shot barrage across 3 probably helped to keep them alive, but it's going to be Moon ending them with a javelin on the way in, and everybody is limping away. He tries to flash. One last dash. The spear goes, you see him lift his arm and went under his armpit, and he gets out alive. Wow. Dig's still losing a lot of ground in these fights, and NRG is just picking it up everywhere they can.
Kiwi with the smooth moves there to walk away with his life, but it's not the main point of the story here. The main point of the story is NRG had a great re-engage from KonKwon there. Impact did all the tanking that he could do on Poppy as the first line of defense, and then KonKwon goes back in after Kindred ultimate pops with the Alistar for the re-engage here. So Kiwi does get the catch, but Kirei right against the wall. They know that's going to be an instant pop on his ultimate, and then there's a flash out with a re-engage from KonKwon. They immediately kill Kirei afterwards, and then the poke continues to come through. Altec with a huge ultimate there, and then it's just trying to clean up the stragglers here for Moon. We know what happens at this story here. Oh, can't quite flash over it. Had already latched onto him. He actually wasn't even moving. He stopped on the shrine that he had erected. But yeah, now with the Baron buff, that makes poke comp execution extremely easy. And NRG will probably just siege up here. Team Dignitas, they have to go for an all-in. And it has to be with that Bard ultimate to start it off. They need a really good Tempered Fate, or else the constant poke from NRG is just going to take its toll. All right.
They're just going right as they have the batting order back in front of them.
Pretty good.
Moon takes a bit of damage. Oh, Paolo, half HP, takes the wild growth right away. Impacts in, knocks up Apollo so they can get him down, and Altec finds the auto. Now into BillyBoss. KonKwon super tanking the turret for the team as they get by. All the communication really coming together for NRG this game, and maybe on the right path.
This is definitely a statement game for NRG, and GBM goes in once again.
A little too hard, trying to be real flashy in the end of the game.
That was the best team fight that Dig could hope for, and it wasn't enough.
Right in front of the Nexus. Not going to be enough for Dig in their last-ditch effort to Fate's Call and save their Tempered Fate and save the base. We're looking at 27 minutes in. NRG looking for some fantasy points here as the Respite goes down in the fountain, and so does the Nexus. NRG eSports takes down Team Dignitas.
Definitely deserved. Great poke comp execution there from NRG. Able to keep up momentum after getting the early turret lead, and that's where most poke comps struggle, is that transition from the early turret lead into taking actual inhibitor turrets. But NRG did it flawlessly. They even won the team fights in between.
That's true.
With the re-engage here, Impact in KonKwon, that front line that we were talking about. Maybe they were questioning, did the damage dealers have faith in the front line to be able to get up there? And is that the reason why the rest of the damage numbers are low? But this time around, great play from the entire squad, and they get a deserved win.
They do. I like the way you put that, Kobe. You play the turret game in the early part, and it really favors the poke team. They're going to get some bigger items. They don't have to go in to use those. They use them from the outside. Super safe. So those needlessly large rods, everything else, the sheens, really came into effect as soon as they were able to put those items in the inventory. A great game as well, but poke comp from NRG really seemed to clean up the communication, but that's just one of the compositions coming into the second half of the split. We'll see if they can keep it going. Dignitas tried to get the fights in there. They were finding the kills, but we saw as many times, if you've been behind, you're not in the right position to push turrets after getting those fights, after getting those kills.
Yeah, you could definitely, like, Team Dignitas, they were definitely looking for the sustained fights where they could get to use their double marksman. And actually, Kirei built a sated Devourer in the jungle. I wasn't even paying attention.
I saw that, and I was like, okay, he's going sated.
Into Blade of the Ruin King on the Kindred. So they were definitely looking for the DPS, the damage over time, for the team fights to be a little bit longer, where, you know, Kalista can stack up and Kindred can make use of some multiple autos.
We would always see when they were in front of the turret that Kirei would have no problem trying to come in from the side. And then we saw there was no crowd control, but a Tempered Fate, or yes, Tempered Fate, I'm saying Tempered Fate, Fate's call, it's gonna be in my brain now. As a Tempered Fate, would just hold him there for a second. It doesn't really allow somebody to die immediately. So something else in there possibly to at least lock him down.
Yeah, I mean, again, the front line for NRG performed really well, and they didn't really give Kindred or Kalista any time to get off multiple autos. Impact had plenty of CC at his disposal, as well as Alistar for KonKwon. That's why Alistar is such a high priority pick. You can get in there and tank for a long time. But
a few big swings of momentum in this game as well were when the teleports were expended from top, and we saw that Impact's wasn't. And then the flip side of that, when Impact got to stay top and had a field day with that top lane.
Yeah.
So big swings there in the game to look at for Dignitas. But for right now, an inside perspective on that game, we're going to send it down to Freak and NRG's mid laner.